Hi, I want to share, hey out there, I want to share how I changed a really bad habit I had and how that was the moment when I became a follower. No, I became a leader instead of a follower of my emotions. So, hi, if you don't know me, my name is Samantha Kigego. I live here in Denmark. I used to call myself a recovered angry wife. I used to be managed by my emotions all the time. Today, I'm an expert at teaching us how to manage your emotions. And you do that by managing your mind. But today I want to share with you a moment in time when I made a choice and a declaration that really made a huge, huge difference. And it's been the basis of some training I do, a short ebook that I wrote called Words to Use in Order to Choose Love. So I was on the phone with my mom and I was frustrated with my husband. And I don't know if you remember, you've had this experience. You're frustrated, you call your girlfriend or you call your mom and you go like, I don't know what to do. He does this and that. And it's out of frustration, out of sheer frustration and not knowing what to do and feeling stuck. You call somebody to vent and get it out. But I could just hear myself in this story that I've been in many times before. And it was negative words, negative things that he weren't good at, things that he should do different. And I just decided right then and there when I hung up the phone to never say or think another negative word about my husband. And it is a great, great choice and a great exercise. What I did was I saw these words again and again that I would say, like, oh, he's so slow, he's incapable of taking action, he is indecisive. Those things would trigger me. So notice what things trigger you and notice the conversations, the negative conversations that you're having about your husband, and stop having them, by the way. And when you fail to stop having them, fail and recommit to stop having them. But what I did is I also flipped them around. So let's say slow. What's the positive part, flip side of slow, right? There's a good and a bad to everything. So that's patient. Right? He's the most patient man ever. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I always needed to learn to be? In my entire life, husband or no husband, the number one thing I've lacked in my life and that stands in the way of all the success in my life is patience. I'm like, oh my God. When I flip that, the thing that triggers you most about your husband is most likely your greatest learning gift that you get to or need to learn no matter what is going on with your husband. That's still your learning in life. So there is a reason he's in front of you. All right. So the next thing that I saw that my husband truly is to say a positive word. This is instead of saying the negative words, instead of saying, and you may even be still triggered and feel like he's really slow, you can just say, hey, honey, you're so efficient, and laugh. That's okay. But this is the only time that you can truly hack and say something different. And even though you're actually feeling that he's slow, this does work, okay? So some of you may have heard me say it doesn't matter it's not what you say that matters, it's how you feel when you say it. It is true, but this exercise works because you will see the genius of it all. Okay, so the next thing my husband is, for example, instead of slow, inefficient, incapable of taking action, is grounded. He's super grounded, right? Oh my God, that was the feedback I got in leadership training where we have to tell each other the truth, is that I was ungrounded. And the other thing is he's very, very present in the present moment. So these are great, great qualities, all of which I lacked and had to learn. So I found out two things. Or the number one thing I found out was, oh my God, that is why God has put him in front of me, is to teach me these things. This is what I need. There's a gift of learning in everything that triggers you about your husband. And when you do this word flipping exercise, that's what you learn. You see this. And you also make that commitment. See how you become the leader when you choose your words? You choose to not say or think a negative thing about your husband. He can be, it's just, you can stay in the story that, oh, he should change and he should do this and that and the other. You can. And you can be right. You call your friends and your mom and she'll say, oh yeah, honey, oh yeah, because she feels for you. And oh yeah, if she wants the best for you, she's not going to interrupt that conversation. But where are you leading yourself to? You're not leading. You're following your emotions of being triggered and annoyed and being frustrated. That's not being a leader, right? And it doesn't matter if you fail. Like, I can't stand here and say in all honesty that I never thought or said a negative word about my husband since then. This is like 7 years ago. Of course I have, but I made a decision and a commitment, and then you fail and recommit because you keep leading yourself. You don't just try it and fail and say, okay, that didn't work. But see how you can either be in front of your emotions, leading the way, or you can just follow them. So when we snap and get triggered, we follow our emotions. That's okay. If you put your hand on the stove, it hurts. It's okay. You can't change that, right? Over time, maybe we can be more resilient to the hurt, but there's a point when you can react to the hurt. So you do something, and then you go, oh, wait a minute. And then you react. Or you choose again, or whatever people call it. I call it fail and recommit. And that's what this is about. So I'm doing a training on this where you also get my ebook, very short ebook, 4 pages, or 5, and a lot of exercises. And then we get really deep into the things that you nag about. So you get to be honest and say the negative things, and then you get to flip them and see the positive side to it. And I promise you, there is a gift of learning in everything that pisses you off about your husband. And when you see that, you're like, oh my God, thank you. Or like whatever reaction you have, but you see there is a reason behind the madness. There's something good in everything. And it's not a coincidence. That's why, ladies, don't give up or take the road. Just follow, do the steps. Don't think about if you should be with him or not. He's there in front of you to teach you something super valuable. And I'm telling you, all your dreams can come true. Like the number one thing that I lacked in order to be successful in life is exactly what these triggers about my husband, what they had, those hidden learning gifts. Those were the things that I needed, husband or no husband. I needed that in my life to succeed and be successful. I've always been told, oh, you're so inspiring. You're so this, that. But I wasn't connected. And that was exactly how my husband was. He could lean back and let things come to him, and he could hear people because he wasn't all me, meh, meh, meh. So when I learned, and I see the gift of learning that was in front of me in the things that were really painful and frustrating, when I saw the gifts of learning, I could take those trades and learn from it and start being connected with people. Because I could maybe, say something and momentarily, but to really change people's lives, you gotta be connected. And that is what my husband is so good at, by being present and grounded and patient. I was so impatient. So if you get triggered because you think your husband is slow, you're impatient. And impatience always means lack of trust. And if you're listening to the book Conversations with God, which I'm very deep into right now, he says that there is only fear and love. Those are the main feelings. And then everything else is a feeling sponsored by that, or coming from that sponsoring feeling. So the sponsoring feeling is either fear or love, right? And it goes well with my work. You're either walking down the love path or the war path. You're walking towards love or away from love. And when you're in fear, you're walking away from love. So when you're impatient, when you're in other ways acting out of fear, it can be many things. But when you're impatient, you're actually walking away from love, not towards it, because you're acting out of fear. So I always work with these phrases. Notice when you're acting out of trust and love versus fear and insecurity, and just see it and say, oh my God, this is what I'm doing right now. And then redirect yourself or redirect yourself. And there's nothing wrong. We're always going to walk, I think 9 out of 10 times, we just walk towards war or away from love, because that's just the way we're put together or the way we're programmed. But just notice the difference, and just once in a while start walking towards love. That's just what I want to share with you. Shoot me a message. I will share some information on the upcoming workshop to work with words to use in order to choose love. Have a great day out there.